So now that Final Fantasy 15 DLC season is now done with, we can now look toward the future of this franchise. And now I know Square is busy with other projects. Kingdom Hearts 3 is on the horizon, or if you're looking at this like years later, it's already out. How is it? What's your opinion? I don't know. I don't know how your life is. I don't know, but Square has other franchises now. I want to get into this, and this is what Final Fantasy 16 needs to succeed. That this franchise has existed since the 80s. I know, since the Super Famicom days, bro. So we need to pinpoint the 5 things that help make any Final Fantasy game spectacular. Combat, character, story, music, and gameplay, which are huge elements of what makes up the game. I'll also be going over smaller little things such as leveling system rewards for playing the game and for actually learning and mastering the systems. Now this will be a series because as I was writing it, I was only intending to do one video, but actually noticing all the ideas I had, we're gonna need a couple more videos to actually expand on them and to give them better light. So yeah, this will be a series. So welcome to what the world of Final Fantasy 16 needs to succeed. And without further ado, let's begin. So one thing I noticed is for all of Flash 15 gets, the story is the main reason. The reason for it is they butchered the story into third-party mediums, which practically mean mediums outside of the video game. So in order to get the story, you have to go and look at a movie, Kingsglaive. You have to go and watch an anime, Brotherhood. But by the way, if you still want to look at Brotherhood, it's on the Square Enix website for free. And also people have just took that anime, jumbled it up so you can watch it in condensed pieces. But it really is just more a backstory for these characters so you know who they are. And you have to play the game to fully understand the story. And trust me, ain't nobody got time for that. I got obligations, I got things to do, I got school, I got work. That's not an easy solution. So here's a solution that will actually work for the story. Keep the game compressed to just the game. Keep it condensed to just the game. Don't try to expand into a universe, just keep it compressed to the game. And yeah, I know what you're saying, but DLC, don't you think about episode Pronto and episode Ignis and episode, yeah, I know, but keep that only cosmetic. Expand on your game after, well, either A, it's a raging success, or B, after a year has passed. Because think of it, Final Fantasy 10-2, Final Fantasy 13-2, yeah, they were other games, but they were expanding on the story. So, but they waited at least a year for the game to kind of, you know, simmer in juices and all that. Pretty much let it actually have time to develop. And then there's already a great concept for the next Final Fantasy game called the Project Luminous demo, called Agnes Philosophy, and Chapter 0 is a witch. I'm gonna play these, and I'm not gonna speak or anything, and I'm gonna risk the copyright from Square, but these were demos to show off how Final Fantasy 15 and Square's new engine actually will look. They showed off the character, they showed a brief story, but they never give a synopsis of these characters. And I'll talk more about them after I play it, but here, how about you guys sit back, grab some popcorn, and I know this is the intermission in the video, but chill and look at Agnes' demo, and I want to hear your thoughts on how this can be implemented into Final Fantasy 15. I'll give my thoughts after it, and I'll leave a timestamp if you've already seen the Project Luminous demos, because I mean they were pretty synonymous, and we all thought it was a Final Fantasy game anyway. So yeah, I'll leave a timestamp, and you can just skip to the next part of the video.
Hear me, mighty servant. With an offering of light and darkness, do I invoke the ancient pact of binding. Once more, the wicked stand before us, threatening the sacred communion between your realm and mine. Rise, and from the time-torn rift shall our power rage forth and rain down destruction. Nabre ir la presa hoy día.
as you can see, that was fucking beautiful, wasn't it, guys? Now, excuse my language if you're a younger audience. This is not a PG rated channel, but I really feel like these characters are interesting, and the world is already deep just from those few minutes of gameplay. Well, it wasn't really gameplay, but that few little cutscenes we've seen. We see, obviously, the priest woman. We see that she's a part of some type of magical cult or some type of magical group or church. We see that this church is hated by some terrorist organization. We see that they have been taken out one by one, and we can see that if they do decide on this, they can make it into a full-fledged game, and that's what I really like to see. So we can go up using that the same characters, or we can base new characters off of these characters. So the witch can be the main character, and you know, due to us having a lack of female diversity in Final Fantasy 15, see ladies, I look out for you, you see. But let's balance it to 6 characters in a party, 3 guys and 3 girls, and they'll each have different job systems, which I will actually talk about the job system. I don't know if it's going to be in a later video or if it's going to be in this one where I talk about the combat or the game system. And if it's in a later video, I'll definitely subscribe to check out more and to click the notification bell. But 6 characters in a party, and what do you actually let it take you back even further to, you know how we had a fantasy based on reality? How about we have a fantasy actually based on fantasy? And what I mean is, let's go back to not driving a car, but driving a motorcycle, or driving a flying helicarrier, or driving all sorts of things, you don't know. And let's go back to actually having it set in medieval times, combined with either a steampunk-esque, futuresque place, or aesthetically it looks like Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy fucking 13 or 12. These had amazing environment that expanded onto this interesting world. For Final Fantasy 7, you are in this futuristic world taken over by terrorists. Well, the electric company. No, out of all people, why the electric company? But look, or you can go to Final Fantasy X, where it was a world that was honestly incorporating this sort of beach vibe, this like Hawaiian type vibe, this world that is so unique in its own way. Or you can go to 13, where you're in the fucking future and shit just goes off. Yeah, 13 may have been rough, but it sure as hell had a beautiful aesthetic. Or you can go into 12 and be a fucking pirate. Yeah, everybody loves pirates, right guys? That's why we made a couple movies on them. But anyhow, in the next video we'll be discussing combat and gameplay. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications for this series. This is going to be a small mini series that I'm doing, which will cover just about everything we'll need to see in Final Fantasy 16. If you guys have any ideas or suggestions for videos like these, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know my humor is a bit cringy, but you'll like it. You'll grow to it. Yeah, this is a big project, and I definitely will be using a lot of it. Also, on Tuesday, I will be streaming live on Twitch, so please go follow the Twitch channel, because that will have a lot more content going on, and I'll be discussing, and probably even on some Twitch days that are scheduled, I'll actually be showing me with the editing process. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep rolling with your bro, keep playing Final Fantasy, and last but not least, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video.